Come on in. We will let a couple more folks come in before we get started this evening. I hope everyone's week has been good thus far. And we have reached the turning point. So, we're going to start the night like this. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. The guest house. Rumi. Welcome, artists and family. You know what it is. Finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. We here, y'all. Get excited. And welcome to the online open mic presented by the legendary, that's right, the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I'm your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You know how we do. We've been doing this quite well. Welcome to episode 123. We gonna be here as we have been every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on YouTube. And if you're watching and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number's on your screen, 860-4964-4756. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Trust, we're going to show you why it's called that this evening. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. So we would like to thank the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Bloomberg Philanthropies, the Howard Gilman Foundation, and New York State Council on the Arts for hosting these events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to newyourekan.org/donate. Every dollar amount counts and is very much appreciated. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech team in the world. The one and only Matthew Model Keen. All right, Storm Lake in the building, Jersey in the building, and he's an incredible host. Make sure you plug in. The one and only Brian Lee in the building. Kid Kuza is here. The music man himself is in the building. And, of course, Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. That cat's dope. All the way up in the BX. You know what it is. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2, Elemen2al.com. So many things going on. All right? Make sure you plug in. Tonight's theme, sacred texts. The stories we pray. right? This is about all the things that we were taught as kids, right? What holy doctrine do your prayers come from, right? What are some of those prayers that have been stuck into your mind, right? Whether it's, before you do something good, when something bad happens to you, when you're trying to bless something or someone, who knows, right? That's what we're going to be looking at this evening. If your artwork is not on theme, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all of your incredible artistry this evening, all right? Next week's theme, which will also be the finale of National Poetry Month, coming at you. Infinity Inc. Right Beyond Time. All right. This is really for the Doctor Who fans, for the Sliders fans. Once upon a time, this is really about past, present, and future. You know what I mean? Use timelines and really just right beyond time, right? What we do is it's an infinite possibility. So explore it, all right? And so that would mean the themes for May are now on your screen. This is what we're going to be looking at in May. So you can get a jump start on it. It's going to be another interesting one, all right? So let's get to the rules so we can get to the artistry this evening. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic stage as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your artistic performance. All right. Artists, have your artwork ready. We do have a full list this evening. All right. So as we're getting ready to call you, you will see a who's coming up list in the chat. So have your artwork ready. Artists, you have 4 minutes to rock. All right. Plus, there is a 30-second grace period. All right. As you're coming up, you will see a timer jump right into your screen. All right. As you will see, this is a timer counting down. All right. This is to ensure that everyone has the same amount of time. All right. This is about respecting everyone involved. Once you get to 0, you'll hear this. Once you hear that, you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. All right. Please don't make us mute anyone. We want to make sure that everyone gets the same amount of time. Respect each other, respect the mic, respect the community. All right? All right. We have reached the time of night where the gloves come off, right? This is when artists and poets and creatives do what we do, right? It may bring about some triggering flashbacks, right? Maybe some explicit lyrics, right? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the vein of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship, other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not be tolerated. All right, fuck around and get cute and get the boot straight up out of here, man. For real. All right, thou hath been warned. This is a living, breathing trigger warning. What we do. All right. This is a true call and response space. After these artists get up here and they share a true essence of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy, all of that exuberance with the audience, with the world, with your colleagues. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. We're going to make sure it stays that way. So share all of that energy. It will be returned to you in your colleagues' performances. The guaranteed list tonight is closed. All right. It was basically filled up in 3 minutes last night from the time that it came on. All right. To sign up happens 24 hours before the show, which would be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to neweurekan.org, click on full events calendar. You click on a Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need that artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list, and they don't populate until 24 hours before the show. My suggestion, set a timer, folks. All right, it's a hot ticket. If you want to get on, make sure you are in there within the first few minutes so you can secure a ticket. All right. Tonight's list, some surprise in here. It's gonna be another incredible night filled with some absolutely incredible people. So let's do it. Here's all my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good people? Great to see you. Brian Enciso is here. Bonnie Maanya is here. Ray Whitaker is here. Jedi Master Dre. Alan Gary, what up? Angelina, great to see you. Peace to the God, Baba and Ngoma's here. Xanadu is here. LadyK, what up? Dr. Z Paige is here. Sam is here. our resident descendant of the Starship Enterprise, Garland Thompson in the building. Jen and Eddie is here. Wow. This is going to be a great night, folks. For real. Uh, for real. I don't know what it is, Dr. Z, for real, but Eddie's just on it. All right. So we are going to get to it, folks. If everybody is ready to rock, I will put tonight's list into the chat and we will get started straight away, folks. All right. Strap in. It's going to be a great one, no doubt. All right. Coming up first, as he always has a way of doing. This gentleman, man, I love when he comes through. He's always got such a positive spirit, and he's always ready with a rhyme that's right on time. The one and only Eddie Foreman in the building. Come on, Eddie. Let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please, take it away.
Great to see you too. Thank you for pushing through. And remember that we love you, Mattox, and Matthew King too. Woo! Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potastic, Fantastic. Please tell me to join my rhyme Fox Sublime. I got 2 short pieces for Poetry Month, 30 to 30 Poetry Month Challenge. I will take too much time. This is called Broken Bread. It's not the bread. Yes, that's what I said. It's about the ingredients, the nutrients of its existence. People just want a taste. The story goes to waste. The story of the flower giving its fluffy power. The story of the yeast creating a rising beast. The story of water bringing a boiling talker. The story of salt providing a savory halt. The story of butter adding a rich color. The story of eggs. The story of eggs holding fragile kegs. The story of honey bringing a floral sunny. It's like me and you traveling the blue. You are the stories finding grander glory. It's written all over you. You define what you do. Remember, be the bread. Don't ride inside your head. You are full of uniqueness. Remember to check off your list. You said that doesn't define me. Well, express yourself with poetry. Thank you. And this other one is called Uncertain Dream. May dreams be reality, to strengthen yourself mentally. Sometimes dreams die, being one in the sky. Dreams always take root while creating sweet fruit. Nobody has one, shining brighter than the sun. Yet people don't understand it's there in your empty hands. Do you feel its presence? It's there with your essence. Your imagination flowers, giving you virtuous powers. Remember, that paper turned to vapor. It read, what is your dream? You're blowing off steam. You want to be an astronaut, never getting a shot. You want to be president, but you were defiant. You want to be a hero, but your grades were 0. You want to be a doctor, but life can be a shocker. You want to be a legend, but you don't know where to begin. You want to be great. You are great. No more debate. You try, then you cry. Don't be dry to deny. Some you killed it, but you embody it. You drink it, you eat it, you speak it. Don't deceive it. You are it. You are someone's dream. Now it's time to be supreme. Thank you.
Man, you just have a knack for that shit, Eddie, for real, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Foreman.
Thank you.
Eddie, that was great. Whoa.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Eddie, you always make us happy. Make me happy. I don't want to talk for all of us, but
You put the biggest grin on my face. Thank you,
Yeah,
Eddie.
talk-
That's the way to
talk for
start
all
the
of
night.
us.
that's right.
Amen. Talk for all of us. Always a
May
good day.
dreams
Thank you.
be rowdy.
Yes.
Pause.
For sure. He always sneaks something in there, right? That's what I love about Eddie's work. Like he's gonna sneak something in there on you, man. I really dig the bread. I really dig the bread poem. I mean, it just speaks to so many things, right? The nutrients of its existence. The story of the yeast. Like that's just, people talk about bread, not the yeast. So I dig it. You define what you do. In your second piece, you mentioned it's there in your empty hands, and I just that imagery right there is just fantastic. You want to be a legend, but don't know where to begin. He said you're someone's dream, supreme. Now just be supreme. Like I just appreciate what you do, Eddie. I really, really like how you end your rhymes on something very positive all the time. It really makes a difference, man. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for continuing to come through and share it with us. Truly appreciate you. Yo, Starship is underway. Let's get it. All right. Coming up next. Yo, I'm telling you, like, sometimes the list just gets mixed up, man. Hey, I don't know. But listen, one of my favorite people on the planet is up next. She comes through and she just puts in work, whether she's on a stage or coming through the virtual stage. I saw that they were right Bronx Music Hall, I think is where they were. It was pretty cool, man. They work saving people's lives, one poem and sometimes one patient at a time. The one and only Dr. Z Paige in the building. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please take it away.
I've been processing a date rape that I experienced a few months ago, so here's some new shit. It's called Funny Guy. A woman loves a man's sense of humor. A man loves her laugh. Allow me to let you in on the joke. Last year, a man asked me home with him. Knock, knock. You're not a murderer, are you? We laughed. Because he thought I was joking. Me, because I wasn't sure I was. You see, I've learned gallows humor from a gender confined to the galleys and gutters. We're taught to be silent as we're silenced, confined to eye rolls and crying in private. Last year, a man asked for my number. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dick pic, pledged like a cheap print pressed into my face. It's just a joke, he said. I knew he wasn't joking. And if I don't laugh, I'm crazy for being louder than the laughter. It was the first time he unveiled his dissent from consent. He never minds, but it never leaves my mind. If it's just a joke, then he's so funny, he's an artist, a method actor. Last year, life imitated his art. Last year, I didn't pay for his performance. Last year, I'm under the table, all unreported. Last year, I had to send proof of life to a friend half through dinner. Last year, I was his punchline, someone who's more fun time than human. Every day, I earn one step away from the laughter. Until this year, a man asked if he could call me pretty. I didn't want to explain why his jokes aren't funny. I said, I know, and stepped away. Because every time I laugh, funny guys think repetition makes a bad joke land. But this year, I'm smarter than he is. This year, I respect myself more than his feelings. This year, I'll hug my dignity before a fuck buddy. This year, knock, knock, no one's home. I ignore him because he isn't a comedian without an audience. And I am not the joke.
Yo. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dr. Z Paige.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wow. That is just like, it's just taking words away from me. Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Z, I'm glad you said the words.
Dr. Z, you're really one of my fucking favorites. And I don't know how much this helps you, but this is Elemental says some things have to be written, and I think this is something that helps. It helped me. It just needs to be said, and you said it. And I don't know how the fuck you found the courage to, but you're amazing. Thank you for it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really getting off how you keep pushing your performances here. You take this space and you just stretch it and bend it and fold it and blow it up with your voice. It's just really great. It's kind of like a, a tutorial. I could go back over the last 10 times you've been here and compile those recordings, and it would be like this instruction manual about all these different ways to play with this space using your voice. So I really love what you're doing and all the energy you put in it. Your performance, your delivery tonight was just super, and it was so well matched to what you had to say. And, again, just so many great lines. I respect myself more than I respect his feelings. And, of course, the whole poem was about how humor is just this perennial crutch of oppression, of gender oppression, and how males are taught to do this, to laugh at parts of female anatomy and just make jokes about every different aspect of femininity they can turn in, to a supposed joke. But, thanks again for being here and just really making this inferno night.
I wanted to say one more thing. My algorithm on Instagram is filled with enraged women that refuse to have anything to do with men these days. It's just incredible how top of mind it is. And I don't know if that emboldens men or not, but it's really sad. And I'm sorry that happened to you for sure.
So it's these types of poems for me. Your performance, it reminds me of whichever version of the Joker that you appreciate. It's not being this way to spite anyone, or it's not an act. This is really who I am, right? And that's what this poem came off to me as. This is really what this is, right? Like Heath Ledger said, you want to know how I got these scars? I'll show you. That's what this poem reminds me of. And I love the energy and the emotion that you poured into this poem, because that is what healing sounds like, if there's even healing to be had from such a thing. It's putting it all into a poem. Like I tell you guys all the time, poetry can take it. And this is an example of poetry being able to take it. And we are here for you. We are definitely here for you. I really hate that something like that happened to you. Cowards come in all shapes and sizes. Some assholes are bigger than others. And stupid exists. Like really, really stupid exists. Your lines in here, just like, you're not a murderer, are you? I was laughing because I wasn't sure I was. I knew he wasn't joking. Crazy for being louder than the laughter. A method actor. Last year I didn't pay for his performance. Someone that's more fun time than human. You said this year I will hug my dignity before a fuck buddy. He isn't a comedian without an audience. That's just power. That just speaks of so much power. I totally dig it. Thank you so much, Dr. Z Page, for doing what you do, being brave enough to share that with us. Amazing work. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, our resident reggaeton artist is in the building. Jersey in here, man. This cat comes through, man. His flow is locked in. He's always got something ready to rip, and I'm looking forward to tonight's presentation as well. The one and only Brian Enciso in the building. Come on, man. Let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please, take it away.
Thanks, Elemental. I'm gonna see if I can try to get two in. They're both not finished. Like I just started them recently, so let's go. Staggering wages, fuck that future. How do you afford what you can't procure? Window shop at the grocery store, forcing the many to be pure. And when it pours, the quick to take the bulk, all while asking what the fuck are y'all doing nothing for? Dangling their carrots off of the allure. Is that why shit been feeling harder than before? This pattern we in, can we break away? Or is it too late? Should we call Mayday? Are we too easily swayed by money? I think it goes without saying, unless we step back from our current ways, fat chances looking swim. Underweight working now only worse when you put the steps in. So chase that bread. Don't forget you're indebted for decades trickled away. What was saved? Would you rather rave about grave Robin Reagan's grave or fight his disease still killing us today? Cause time marches on. It never waits. AI artists, fuck that future. More inflation, fuck that future. No privacy, fuck that future. Killer cops, man, fuck their future. World still burning, fuck that future. Do nothing, not fuck that future. Led by losers, fuck that future. Still getting pushed, fuck that future. Leaders grifting, fuck their futures. Building stocks instead of cures. Promising light, only to obscure. Are the smiles genuine? I'm no longer sure. Had it up to here, fuck all the fear. Interfering with progress, playing our feelings and reasoning. Yet they continue stealing from underneath us. Erode the ground from beneath us. No different from keeping up appearances. Acting like they care about your grievances. Hook, line, and sink more off of their finances. If I had to say, they only get two chances. The first fuck up is a freebie. They all get one. Second time, they ought to get you exiled out of fun. Like they used to do farther back in the day. Might as well add since they're so obsessed with history. If it really repeats, then we climb back up. Easier said than done. How much will we be enough? Whether it ever does, that's all up to fate. The clocks keep ticking, cause it never waits. AI artists, fuck that future. More inflations, fuck that future. No privacy, fuck that future. Killer cops, man, fuck that future. We're still burning, fuck that future. Do nothing, not fuck that future. The losers, but fuck that future. Still getting pushed, fuck that future. That's, I'm gonna get one more. Hold on. Thanks. All right. That one was called, well, I guess you could guess the title of that one. This one is called Let's Try Again. If I could be honest, I always hated your presence because every time you came by, shit always go different than it how it used to be. Get me reminiscent of a simpler time before you came by and ruined it. First time we met, Gladys came to stay with us. My mama had to leave to keep up the facade. It was odd waking up one morning not seeing your mom. That's why they said it'll just be for a little while. You came and went but hung around the neighborhood. No introduction. You just enrolled me into a new school. New faces I've got to face in the classroom. Got to start from scratch. No other way to resume. And just when I was settling in, you came in meddling everything once again. Learned this would never end with you. Every now and then, shake things up again. No wonder the ground never feels stable. A constant earthquake. Big one didn't come until you had us pack up and move. From there, you'd only care to bring more bad news. From there, whenever I could, I avoided you. Took a while to see it was because of you that I grew. A lifetime of game of tag, and you were it. Over clashing like two brothers, sparring, win the argument, dreading every new message you would deliver.
every day after another, making my spine shiver. You being here usually meant heartbreaks and isolation. Popped up out of nowhere during graduation. You see pace keen for each separate occasion, constantly reminding me that my time here is fading. At some point, I started feeling differently on the daily basis. You bring a new crisis, different shit, different day, can make it hard to keep up, caught up with your rhythm and unexpected. That's all I got.
And you putting in work. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Brian. Enciso.
Stop playing. Do nothing. Fuck that future.
Woo!
I need to go take that to my clients who keep messing around and they're like, I don't know why my future's not playing out. Do nothing. Fuck that future. Boom.
Sure.
Maybe a sign in your office under your name, under your.
Angelina Ojeda. Do nothing. Fuck that future.
Yeah.
I'm getting it on a t-shirt, bro. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you.
It's really good.
You're just really into your, your performance of your work. It's, it's really good to hear stuff you're doing that's unfinished and where it's going. I mean, the first one, you kind of switched up the beat through it. I thought that was interesting. But it had such an incredible texture, a sonic texture, that some of your other pieces have in a way that's a little more softened. But that first piece was just incredibly textured, with the flow and the beat. And it was really relentless. And, I think what was there kind of worked, as short as it was. It kind of reminded me aesthetically of like skinhead music, although the content's like the opposite pole. And the second one, poem, I really connected with that being about disruption and insecurity that comes from instability. And just the opening line, if I could be honest, I think that was really poignant. And it was really sort of a lesson about how a person can grow from a bad example. But, as a friend of mine used to say to me when I told them how I did that, sometimes they would say, well, it's good you could do that, but it's too bad you had to learn it that way,
Thank you.
Yeah. That first poem, man, listen, I hope that's going on the EP, right? I hope you're making room for that on the EP, man, for real. Yeah, I know shit's new, but hey, it's pretty fire, man. AI artists, fuck that future. Killer cops, fuck that future. Like it's just a sick reframe, man. It really is. So I really appreciate that. Really. You said window shopping at the grocery store. That's just mean. The second poem reminds me of a person, right? When someone comes into your life to create instability. Every time you show up, it's this. Every time you show up, it's that, right? Like someone who's not welcome here, but is always finding themselves welcome here. I get that. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the honesty and just the vulnerability that you put into your work, man. It's really dope. I appreciate you. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, this artist really shows you, I'm telling you, this artist shows you how once there was a whisper and now it's a roar. The one and only Sam Harty in the building. Come on, Sam, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please, take it away.
Hey, it's great to be here. I'm happy to see all you. I hope you're doing okay. Today is in the country of Turkey is National Children's Day, known only as 23 Nisan, Nisan meaning 23rd of April. April is Nisan. Anyway, so I wrote this poem and I sent it to my friends and her family, and this is it. 23 Nisan. Laughter whistles through the air from Istanbul to Ataşehir to Karakoy, the sounds of children, both girls and boys. Today we celebrate our children, their smiles and hopeful dreams, as we help them find their way to brighter things. Their soccer games and school plays, we love them dearly all our days. We try to instill in them Allah's truth and guide them gently through the pains of youth. Both mothers and fathers understand that being a child is not always grand, but all we can do is teach them right, then let them go and trust their flight. So join with me, celebrate the children, all their shapes and sizes, as their lives unfold with endless gifts and always bright surprises. So that's to celebrate National Children's Day in Turkey. Recently, I was published in a book by Turnaround Inc. called The Purple Poetry Book. It's for survivors of sexual assault. And this is a poem that was published there. It's called Lifeboat. Back then, I didn't realize I was dying inside, my development being wrapped up in bed sheets and tossed out dingy and torn. I didn't see that the tombstone you were shoving into my center would stay with me, last a lifetime. I didn't know that this was not what little girls were supposed to do. But now, 50 years later, I know. I understand what you took from me, what I can never get back. I say I forgive you, but I don't. Not really. Years spent in therapy, bearing my soul, talking till I have no more words to utter. My therapist, Lifeboat, she listened and believed, and I learned it was never my fault. Casting off the self-blame awakened me, helped me pause and smell the flowers, showed me I still had a life I could live. Now, as the hotline rings, I answer with a breath reserved just for them. A breath with intentions to help, to listen, to believe, to pay it forward. I am a lifeboat moored, just waiting to say it wasn't your fault. Thank you.
Ooh, that is a brave poem. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Sam Harty.
Sam, congratulations on being published. And as a person who lived through that assault a long time ago, I give everybody a hug. I just want to hug all of you because that is a pain that nobody ever truly understands. And the way you guys have put it into words tonight has just been remarkable. Thank you.
Yeah, that second poem really got to me, Sam, because it can you work such wonders with these short poems, and in such a short poem, you just kind of trace this kind of perennial theme of loss of innocence or innocence destroyed, and how you made the journey from being a victim to being somebody who's an advocate and somebody who tries to repair the damage or stand against the kind of tidal wave of abuse that's just inherent in the society. You just have a really, really masterful way of bringing off these kinds of themes.
Thank you, Paul.
First of all, I mean, the first poem was really, really cool. When you celebrate children, old song that people ran into the ground by the late great Whitney Houston. She said, "Don't you know that children are our future? Treat them well, and let them lead the way." Right. Right. It's just one of those things, though, right? When you celebrate children, you're celebrating the future, right? You're positively impacting the future, and that is a really, really big deal. Instead of people treating kids bad, or focusing on them and trying to get them to go and tell their mommy, "Oh, mommy, I saw this on TV. Daddy, I saw this on TV. I need you to buy this for me," right? But celebrating them for who they are. This Lifeboat poem, I can see why it was published. It's an amazing piece of art. I understand what you took from me. The tombstone you were shoving into my center, right? Like, it's just amazing work, right? And it takes a lot of courage to write something like that, and to stand up to people who did you a terrible wrong. But that's what taking your power feels like and sounds like. That's what it is to take it back. Excellent work, Sam. Thank you for doing what you do. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, yo, y'all just bringing it this evening, right? And it is just that. This artist, she finds a way to just put it together, man. She's got, like, when you see fighters in the ring, they have multiple combinations. They hit you high and low, and you know what I mean? You don't see the next blow coming. And this is what her work reminds me of. It reminds me of someone who is so skilled that you don't know where the next piece is coming from, but you're looking forward to it. The one and only Dre in the building. Come on, Dre, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please, take it away.
Hey, y'all, Dre.poetry, Insta. Kind of on topic. My sacred text and the story I pray to. It's called, I'm 45. That's not what it's called. It's called My First Real Love Poem. You say my name like it existed before mouths, like you found it and came back to read it to me aloud. I can't read you, but I kneel, I bring offerings, breath, body, what I dragged back from other lives. We love like ritual. We are our own religion, a creation story. 17 years old, a stoop in Corona. I remember you pull up and suddenly nothing exists but you. It wasn't love, it was elimination. You became everything, the forbidden, your best friend's girl, your best friend's secret. We learned silence as survival. We lied, like sacred texts lie, edited, cleaned, made acceptable. But truth, because why not? We chose each other in secret again and again and again. And decades in the underworld of my madness, tile floors, hospital light, my body trying to leave, death close enough to memorize me, and you reaching in because you knew what could come back and what doesn't. But now, each morning, you write your own poem on me, on my skin, on paper, on my memory, or your favorite lyrics. Your love is my scripture, but you don't write like a poet. You don't touch like a man because you already know the words to poems I haven't written yet. When I read them, you watch my mouth. We don't call it love, we call it work, we call it ritual, we call it feeding what has always been hungry. We know this isn't clean. We know what watches and what hurts. I've prayed to death before, but you feel like something death would keep. You arrive like something that was never foreign, like I built the door for you, like my body was always your altar, and you knew exactly how to pray. You read my morning poems fast, too fast, like you've learned and buried me before and know how to bring me back. You turn the page while I'm still bleeding, but when you speak, I go quiet, not fear, recognition. You don't love me like I'm fragile. You love me like I'm inevitable. And as we grew up, we corrected each other violently as initiation. I said yes to you before I understood, and still I do not take it back. This is not love. This is binding. I give you my return, my repetition, what finds you in every lifetime, whether I want it to or not. I want it. We are not safe. We are not gentle. We are not explainable. We are a text rewritten until it sticks, until it's sacred. You don't finish me. You expose me, and I stay, not because I'm safe, but because I'm claimed and fucking grateful, because something in me recognizes something in you as almost God, as almost death, as something that honors what it claims and thankfully refuses to leave. Poem.
I told y'all. I tried to warn you. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre.
Wow.
That right there. If somebody don't write me a love poem like that, it ain't real. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. I love that. I'm so happy that you get that type of treatment you deserve.
You say my name like it existed before mouths.
Yes.
It wasn't love, it was illumination. And your poems are packed with this stuff.
Deep.
Yeah, really beautiful, beautiful kind of journey, both into, sort of an interior landscape about discovering love and how it kind of becomes when a person does that, it kind of becomes what you discover. It becomes kind of the bedrock of what you're going to know for the rest of your life. It's kind of the touchstone. And so this poem for me, comes off as being a kind of tribute to that whole experience. And, the question that kind of comes to my mind from the poem is love really separable from the person through which it came to you?
Dre, you lean into your work, right? You like your pages are like pools or oceans, and you just dive right into them. Like you throw caution to the wind and you just go, and it comes off like, oh, it's cool. I'm just gonna swim the English Channel because I need the exercise. But then you do it, and then it's like, I knew I could do that. This poem, it just sounds like I didn't know that I could say how I loved you, right? You said, I kneel, I bring offerings of breath, body. We love like ritual. We learn silence as survival. Your love is my scripture. Like my body was your altar. Like you learned and buried me and brought me back before. You love me like I'm inevitable. I said yes to you before I understood. I give you my return. That's one of those lines. You be careful how you sling that around, all right? Make sure that that's the person that you want, because I don't think you're going to get rid of nobody saying some shit like that. Real. Really dope work. Really dope work, Dre. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do and leaning into your work. It's amazing work. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, I'm glad that she has found her way back to us. She just gives us such a beautiful insight on this life that we live. She works hard. Congratulations again on getting your degree, and sending all the energy to be the best. I want to say like lover of the future, because you're going to be working with people who are going to be struggling and dealing with lots of things, but
giving them the love that they need.
Yes. So like a love bringer. How about that? The one and only Angelina in the building. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please
So
take it away.
I don't have much of a social media presence because I am working on my book, As a Taco Crumbles, and Tonight I wrote a poem called Alchemy. When I thought about sacred texts, I thought about the prayers that we not only inherit, but also the ones we make up when survival is the only scripture that we have. So this piece goes out to my people here in the room who have experienced the need to survive and find a prayer for it. I was not made, I was forged. Not gently, not kindly, not in ways that left me soft enough for the world to mistake me for easy. I was forged in prayer, in pressure, in the kind of silence that either breaks a woman or introduces her to her power. I come from women who knew how to survive without ever calling it survival. Women who cleaned houses, buried grief, fed whole families, lit candles, whispered prayers, and kept going with endurance that was stitched into the hems of their skirts. That lives in me. That altar-made, river-fed, ash-covered kind of power. That knowing that says, even if I fall to my knees, I am still praying. I am still becoming. I am still dangerous to anything that thought I would stay broken. I have been held by Yamaya in the drowning seasons, when grief was bigger than language, when sorrow moved in tides, when I had to learn that not everything deep comes to destroy you. Sometimes things come to cleanse you, to claim you, to carry you when your own two legs forgot they had a job. And water has her own way of teaching us power. Because metal doesn't always learn through fire. Some steel is humbled by water. Wave after wave after wave, until the strongest thing in the room starts giving up its shape. That is Yamaya too. The patient undoing, the holy erosion, the kind of force that does not need to scream to be obeyed. And then there is Oya, storm mother, gatekeeper, wind that does not ask for your permission. She is the force in me that doesn't beg to dead things to stay. She is the hand at my back when I leave what no longer deserves me. She is the crack in the sky before everything changes. And when I say I have survived endings, I mean Oya was there in every slammed door, every severed tie, every version of me I had to bury with my own two hands. That is alchemy. Not some fantasy, not some performance, not some pretty words wrapped around with pain to make other people feel comfortable. Alchemy is brutal. It is the sacred science of taking what should have killed you and made it kneel. It is turning grief into wisdom, abandonment into boundary, shame into smoke, survival into something holy enough to pass down. So when I say I am becoming, understand me clearly. I mean spirit has had her hands on me. Say I am altar. Say I am gold, because I'm willing to enter the flood, survive the wind, and come back as me. Poem.
Y'all are absolutely incredible. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Angelina.
That one touched me. That was great.
Thank you.
Really, really good work.
Absolutely beautiful. And
Wow.
so well delivered, so beautifully delivered.
Con confianza está hablando. Wow. I love the confidence in your voice, the alchemy in the space between you and the listeners. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I liked it too. It's great. Really nice.
Thank you.
It was great tribute to Jamaya and oh yeah, I mean Yamaya is thank you. Uh, thank
Well, how you introduced
blessings.
the poem was as much the poem as the poem was, and you started off talking about, what you do in life is about showing people, there is love, first of all, when their lives are kind of bereft of it. And you said this really beautiful thing about, making prayers out of when survival is the only scripture we have. Um, and, this poem was really about strength, inner strength. And where do we look for strength? What are the things in our lives that make us realize we have our own inner strength? And it was just line after line that was so consistently about that, of survival sewn into the hems of their dresses. And those kinds of lines are just priceless. And, I kind of see this poem, it's like, where do we look for strength? And you really were kind of advocating for creating a tradition of survival, right? And so once something becomes a tradition like that, it becomes something for everybody. And it becomes, that's kind of the gift you're giving everybody with that poem.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. To me, it just sounded like when you realize with real eyes that your survival is woven into your DNA, right? And this is something that you pass down like recipes, right? That you can sit around whatever, a fire, a television, a radio, and actually pass down scripture to the next generation, right? You said I was forged, right? Those things that either breaks a woman or teaches them survival. Some steel is humbled by water. Alchemy is brutal, indeed. Taking what should have killed you and making it kneel. Yo, that's just work. That it's lines like that that get my blood pumping like, ooh, right? Thank you for that. Really, thank you for sharing such a wonderful piece of your history and the people who came before you that taught you that survival is possible. Really, for those people who cleaned other people's houses and took out other people's crap. Sometimes they're the strongest people in the world, for real. Thank you for doing what you do. All right, let's keep it going. Four more, and we'll go to halftime. Coming up next, this gentleman, man. Listen, he's just incredible, man. He is dedicated to his craft. Last week, we got a chance to hear him do a collaboration that was absolutely amazing. He just works, right? And I appreciate the work that he puts in. He is the author of The Impromptu of Love of Music, as well as Animals, as well as The Tavern on Old Log Cabin Road. The one and only Ray Whitaker in the building. Come on, Ray, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please, take it away.
Oh, it's so great to be here, and it's so good to hear the work tonight. It's very touching, some of it. I wrote both these pieces yesterday, and y'all are the first to hear them out loud. So the first one is called Someone is Missing, with an epitaph of, "This is just a note from the arrogance of days continuing to happen. I cannot reflect this mirror, praying, seeing that event again repeated, with the crisp view, closing eyes to it, gray passion again like thunderclouds, and I feel that rain, cold and wet. Working outside, splitting wood, the tree cut into rounds, splitting by violence. A 4-pound maul striking, hammering with the 2-pound wedge. Firewood-sized pieces breaking, flying apart. Right. Remembering again that I have seen more death than you. However, losses of my people, not unique to humans. Now to clean the ashes out of life's wood stove and remember to forget. Thank you. And now for something completely different. This one is called Arms Stretched Out Like Wings. They began to shout, watching this, the gyrations, parishioners moved by southern accents from the front. The retreat tent moved on a hot, windless day, poles holding, pointing up towards an unattainable lost cloud, far off in a blue sky. I'm expecting a rattlesnake to be held up, tempting God to not allow the two-fanged bite. Turning, I saw God seated in a captain's chair in the backest corner, moving 2 fingers occasionally, his smiling at corresponding moves in members of this congregation. Thank you.
Yo, it's just amazing work, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ray Whitaker.
I haven't seen you in a while, Ray, so it's good to see you. Good to hear your work. Thank you so much.
Hey, can you teach me how to clean the ashes out of life's wood stove?
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know, I just really love your approach to writing, because it just always just gives me this scene of you just sitting in a place. And for the folks who know me, they know like I'm like a nature freak, right? I love watching nature shows and animal shows and things like that. And one of the cats who's always narrating, his name is David Attenborough, right? And you give me that real vibe of just being in the middle of nowhere and loving every second of it, and then bringing it back to us in the form of a poem, right? And I really, really love your dedication to being that earth spirit, because you write about things that I believe only you can in the way that you can. And it really is amazing work that you do. Even from your titles to your delivery, it's just amazing work, sir. And I can't thank you enough for continuing to come through and share it with us. We appreciate you. All right. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, yo, strength comes in many forms, right? And this next artist, she shows strength in her writing, in her approach, in her fearlessness, and in the gym. Let me tell you, she puts in the time in her writing and in her health journey, and it's really, really cool to see. I always look forward to hearing what you have to share with us. The one and only Bonnie Solloway in the building. Come on, Bonnie, let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. I'm on Instagram. That's it. I got rid of every other platform, believe it or not, except Substack. This piece, I read parts of it a few weeks ago, and I was never really happy with it. I just felt like it needed more, I don't know, rage. So this is called History Happenstance. So you probably remember some of it. Was it happenstance or by design as we look back in time? Administration spanning 60 years drew hard division lines between those in desperate need and those who would be fine, between those of bright white skin and those of other shades, lying into law that raced to find one's criminal fate, between those who do our grunt work grossly underpaid, risking torturous deportations on any given day, and Americans working multiple jobs, unable to make ends meet, as overlords pocket profits with unadulterated greed. Between those who get a hand slap and those still serving time. Between those for whom laws don't apply despite corruption and heinous crimes. Between those who grow their businesses with loopholes and subsidies, while the rest of us seek food and health care, now begging for relief. As these oligarchs enrich themselves beyond their wildest dreams, when yachts and cars and planes and hair replacement schemes still refuse to satiate their constant selfish needs, Epstein Island soon became the place to get their kicks, abusing helpless and vulnerable girls and boys to harden flaccid dicks. The main mastermind of all of this, an ex-con with endless smarts, grifting from influential billionaires, some of whom partook in the perverted predilections of a sex-obsessed loan shark. Like the women he recruited learned, once you're at the Epstein Inn, it's hard to disembark. The most recent Epstein file drumbeat surreptitiously of cannibalistic treats, consuming unspeakable body parts of babies for experiential Benjamin Button immortal self-bequeaths. There are those who say it's all untrue. There's no actual proof. How about those emails back and forth with innuendos through the roof? Over and over we hear, this all came from liars. Let's face it, when there's this much smoke, there's bound to be a fire. Epstein worked the top of the food chain, those with power and prestige, who tried to mea culpa backslide once their emails were free to see. There are over 1,000 Epstein victims, dozens of depositions and testimonies under oath. We know the men responsible for torturous acts provoked. For the first time in our history, there's no attempt to make amends. The sheer corruption and aberrancy unpunished are ways that civilizations start to end. Yes, this is what it can look like when a civilization is in decline. While the masses want comeuppance to make it all be fine, the ruling class of billionaires control with cover-ups and crime, the kind that would make Don Corleone turn over in his grave, allowing immorality to feed their lawless, deviant craves. America keeps waiting for prosecutions and accountability, so we, the people, can draw the line between those who've sold their souls to greed and those of us who still believe we can salvage humankind. Thank you.
You're amazing, Bonnie. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bonnie. Solloway.
Bonnie. I can't. It takes.
Yeah,
When
Bonnie.
there's this much smoke, there's bound to be a fire. Just pick me out.
Yeah, Bonnie, you killed it. You killed it, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Thank
doubt.
you.
I second Pablo. I second him. You killed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is like a poem you could say to somebody. I kind of imagine you saying this to just somebody you run into in public, right? Because it's so concise and you boil it down into this thing. It's, doesn't take a lot of time to explain, but you do it with such clarity. You start out with this explanation of how, inequality is the context for, what's been discovered to be this kind of privileged program of depravity. And then, you expand that into, talking about it as a symptom of why this whole society should collapse. And, it's like, I have to agree with you because you do it in such a clean and smart and direct way.
Gosh, thank you, Paul. It was hard to conceptualize what to say about Epstein. It's been on my mind for a long time. And, there's just so many things. I don't even know what's really true, to be honest. Who knows? No one knows. That's part of the fascist mystique. But I really appreciate what you're saying because I do try to make it concise. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's, one of the things that's, that's the question you have to ask yourself in the process of doing a poem like this. You take something that's big and complex and for which we're given too much information, and it's information of every sort. It's innuendo, it's hearsay, some of it's factual, but we can't really trust hardly anything these days. So the process becomes, how do you pick out these kind of premier or salient points in each part of this massive saga and kind of set them up as like the headers of your outline, and then the way you just kind of fill it in with the way you put the rhythm and rhyme scheme together. And I can see that kind of procedural and process in your work. And I think that's it's always a good indicator of a successful piece of work when you can see how it works like that. You can see the foundation, you can see the superstructure, and then you can see all the ornaments. It just is done in a very clear and I want to say methodic way.
Thank you. If I ever get around to publishing a book, Paul, I want you to have the left-hand side of the cover.
Well, anytime.
Just kidding.
I'm not.
Yeah. I was like, wait, nope. That's a real thing. Let that be a real thing. This kind of poem reminds me that as powerful and poignant as you are with your writing, especially when you're going at the damn oligarchs, and I love that word for real. This is the type of poem that they would let you read on the Congress floor because it's acceptable, it's accessible, and it kind of slits their throats. Like, have you ever seen people in tailor-made suits just bleed out? Like, that's what this poem kind of does, right? It shows you how these cover-ups, you said innuendos through the roof, right? Maybe that's why there's so many windows. It's just amazing when you do what you do and how you do it. I love when you lean into these types of poems, right? You mentioned Don Corleone, like listen. Like I'm there for that gangster shit. Like for real. Sold their soul to greed. Like, it's just amazing work, Bonnie. And I think this is your lane. This isn't like, oh, I'm just ranting about the crap that I see on television and I can't keep quiet anymore. Like, this is really what you do, Like when you have investigative reporters that write op-eds or, just sports reporters, right? They find their lane and they do it extremely well. This is what you do extremely well, Bonnie. Really, like, lean into it because you're great at it. Seriously. All right, listen, folks. We're gonna swing back to the folks right here at the end of round one, and we're gonna go to halftime. All right. It has been an incredible night thus far, and it is chock full of more incredible artists coming in the second half. So we're gonna jump into halftime. About 5 minutes. Take your time, stretch your legs, freshen your drink, and we will be back shortly, folks. It has been an amazing night. Thank you all for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here rocking with the greatest community in the world. We will see you back shortly, folks. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the online open mic with the greatest community in the world. Week after week, you keep this flame of artistry burning with a light that transcends time, distance, and borders. Now, welcome to the Halftime Report. I'm your correspondent. My name is Elemen2al, bringing you the latest news and upcoming events, proudly presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and as always, keep creating. The New Eurekan Bowery Slam, happening every Monday at the Bowery Poetry Club in New York City, hosted by Luna Rosa and Jay Rose. Winner receives a $20 cash prize and a chance to compete in the final Friday Slam. Occurring on the last Friday of the month at the Lower East Side Center at 7 p.m. Hosted by Matthew Mattox and Paul Conqueso. Winners from the New Eurekan Bowery Slam compete against each other for a $100 cash prize and a chance to compete in our annual Grand Slam. Plus, there's a Twilight Hour open mic hosted by Cap Come Through and The Score. For more details on the slam season, including rules, winners, and current year scoreboard, go to neweurekan.org/slam. Our open mics at the Lower East Side and Center are all kinds of incredible. The venue records high quality audio and video of all performances, and they are live streamed to the Lower East Siders and New Eurekan YouTube channels. All except our first Wednesday of every month, we have Women's Orator Wednesday, aka WOW, hosted by 2024 Grand Slam champion Somebody's Mama. The remaining Wednesdays of the month, we have the New Eurekan Open Mic, hosted by Brian Acosta Aria, aka Brian the Motel Guy. Make sure you plug in, it is going to be something special. Our online programs, which are absolutely free, include the online open mic hosted by yours truly, weekly on Thursdays via Zoom and live stream on YouTube. All styles are welcome. Every artist has 4 minutes to rock with new themes every week. The Slam Workshop happening on the second Tuesday of every month via Zoom, hosted by the National Youth Poet Laureate Stephanie Pacheco. When you sharpen your craft, you sharpen your performance. Make sure you plug in. There are many other in-person and online events coming up. For info and tickets of all the programming, you can go to neweurekan.org/calendar. Our social media and website and other links, including how to sign up for the mailing list, you go to our Linktree/New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Visit our YouTube channel to catch past live streams of online and Lower East Side Center open mics, beatniks, and special events at Battery Park City, Poetry House, and NJ Pack. The New Eurekan Poets Cafe is a non-profit 501c3 organization based in New York City on the Lower East Side. Ticket sales and grants don't cover all of our programs and operations expenses. So, here are ways that you can help support us in our mission to continue with moving poetry forward. Our merchandise, shirts, hats, and tote bags available for purchase at our New Yo table and in-person events, or go to neweurekan.org/merch. Spring and summer collection coming soon. Also, check out and subscribe to our Patreon site. Gain access to video recordings of in-person events not available online for the public. Go to patreon.com/New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Special thanks to our tech team, our programs and operations team, all of our hosts, our executive director, and all our sponsors for helping us to continue to move our artwork forward. We appreciate you for all your continued support, helping us to keep the spirit of artistry and inspiration of poetry alive and moving forward through the spirit of our founder. Brought to you by Elemen2al Vision Works, inspiring change through passionate poetry and creative production. Your energy and passion truly make this community something special. Thank you for all your artistry and your genius. Truly can't thank you enough. We appreciate you. Now, back to the show. Peace. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get it jumped all the way off. I saw a couple people come in the room. Shout out to Priestess Osunyoyin is in the building. Great to see you as always. And Yun, it has been a while. Great to see you. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. Coming up next, this gentleman, like it is strange to see this gentleman coming after halftime, right? But he's just amazing. No matter what slot that he's in, no matter where he comes in the show, he's absolutely amazing. He has the radio ready voice, and his writing style is just phenomenal, folks. He writes the type of poetry that just kind of sticks to your bones, man. I'm telling you, a la Mr. Chicken Soup himself, the one and only Alan Gary in the building. Come on, man. Let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Friends, you can follow me on my Alan Gary Facebook page. I have two pieces tonight, like the yin and yang of existence, always in flux, ever changing, we confront good and evil. Let me present to you first what I see as destructive. Then, for my second piece, what I see as constructive. This is called Girls' School. Like the schoolyard bully picking on someone smaller, causing pain ain't gonna make him taller. False prophet in a diaper, a cabinet full of ass wipers, their souls are malignant. He dreams of tainted seeds. His bootlickers water his needs. If thoughts could kill an added thrill for one so addled with putrid hatred, he seeks to conquer not his fears, but hopes and dreams of those far or near, whether they caused him harm or simply sought to live. A pig in a ballroom has more class than a charlatan who conned his way into a place where true leaders have come to stay. He's not a star, not even close. Banality of evil marks this festering sore. While alive, he's already decomposed. Legacies come in sizes great or small. When hell welcomes him, the world's greatest fool, he'll be remembered for bombing a girls' school. My next piece is called Jah Rastafarian Refrain. I am ordained to spout anti-platitudes. My truth will blanket the earth when the wind seeks to borrow my voice. The breath I breathe commingles the sun, and then, when I am destined, my soul will run, freedom my journey begun. From infinitesimal seed to highest heaven, my mission indeed, a message like Sartre, from being to nothingness, an answer for somethingness. Destruction is easy. What's hard is lovingness, especially when increasingly the earth sees destructingness. By any other name, good or evil, the choice within, near or far, we are all Jah. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Alan Gary.
Yeah, Alan, I keep getting more and more enthused with your oppositional voice in the poems you've been doing over, the recent past here. And you had this phrase in the second one, anti-platitudes. And I think at this point, you could put a book together and that could be the title of it.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice, sir. Very nice. When you start getting into this mode, it just like if this was a sports lineup, like they would hate to see you and Bonnie in the same lineup. I mean, you got people running for cover when you do poems like this. Because you do this extremely well also, sir. You said false prophet in a diaper. Damn it, man. His bootlickers water his needs? You will be forever remembered for bombing a girls' school. Do you think any dictator is putting that on their resume? Of course not. But I love you calling them out for the evils that they've done. Thank you for that. That's amazing work, sir, as always. All right, let's keep it going. We will get LadyK on at some point. We definitely will. Coming up next, peace to the gods and the earth for all the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that they share with us. This next artist is just one of those. He is one of my spiritual advisors. I haven't got a chance to watch it all, but I did see a pretty fly individual at a Walt Whitman event that happened yesterday. I believe it's on YouTube. Fly, man. Like I can only hope to be that fly. Man, when I grow up, I want to be that fly. For real. Plus, he just happens to be an incredible artist. I tell people all the time, When he comes through, it's an experience, so prepare yourself. He is a contributor to Sunday's Open House Anthology, produced by one of the last poets. Shout out Abi Odun. And he came to do lots of things, but I guarantee you, he didn't come to tap dance. The one and only Baba Ngoma in the building. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you, God. Please, take it away.
Yeah, I did a thing at the Walt Whitman birthplace Thursday, and I put a link to it so everybody want to watch it, and I put it in the thing. And I got 2 poems, one on theme. A poet's prayer to Obatala. Epa Obatala, king of creation, he who is owner of the white cloth, owner of thoughts and dreams, lord of earth. I come to you in this time and place. I give homage for your blessings, your guidance, and your protection. The divination stated that it is my destiny to channel your message. Wrap me in your white cloth. Protect me from my enemies. Give me wisdom, calmness, and understanding. Use my body, my mind, and my spirit to speak peace and harmony into existence. In these days of turmoil and confusion, give me patience. Anoint me with clarity as pure as your white cloth to save humans from destruction. O chief of the sacred grove, owner of Ori, give me strength to light the darkness. He who creates at will, I bring to you snail and pounded yam, shea butter and a white hen. I ask Eshu to open the way. I ask Oya, let peace and justice come on the wind. I sing my song for you, Mofori Ballet. Now this second poem is one of my 30s. Christmas ornaments, dry walls, and Epstein. Seems like some wag the dog shit to me. Tumble Skin Thin is demented, so obviously he's not in charge, thinking Fanta kills grass so it must kill cancer. After all, nobody, and I do mean nobody, is dumb enough to threaten the Pope. But then fake news information is on repeat in his head, so he doesn't consult legalities, nor has he read the Constitution that he thinks doesn't apply to him, and thinks he could run the world on Twitter and Truth Social. We're sure he's delusional, so joining a war with Benjamin lets us know that criminals of a feather hang together. We'll await their court date at The Hague for war crimes while people are starving and East of Middle is in turmoil. Meanwhile, things that are hung include Christmas ornaments, dry walls, and Epstein. So I need to know who's wagging the dog, and I'm waiting to see the body.
Yeah, he's a bona fide shit starter. Unmute yourself, give it up for Baba Ngoma.
That was fantastic. that was so all truth and all fantastic. Thank you.
Yep, all good stuff. They provide good stuff.
Yeah.
I like your first piece.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I like how you paired those 2 poems, a prayer and then this, kind of veil ripping poem. It was, one was a good antidote to the other, and they both were curative.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
First of all, shout out everyone who has taken the 30 for 30 challenge. It has been an incredible year this year. I've come across some amazing poems, some amazing prompts. Baba, when you come through with something like this, there is always a level of truth, and it's like a boulder rolling down a hill. When you speak something like this, you said, "No one is dumb enough to threaten the Pope." Like, come on, people. There are things that we know to be facts. That just happens to be one of them, right? Like, criminals of a feather hang together. In the case of this country, they all just happen to be billionaires, right? And I just love when you do what you do. The first poem, prayers and offerings. It is, it's kind of like something that I've seen Paul Skiff do when he hits the mic, right? He blesses the microphone, trying to clear all the bad spirits away from it. When you do poems like that, it just reminds me of just kind of blessing the microphone and clearing out all of the negative energy that surrounds the stage and the mic. So thank you for doing what you do. Truly, truly appreciate all that you do. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, this cat just came in. I'm telling you, timing is everything, folks. Timing is everything. This cat comes through with work, man. Like, he's been here a few times and he just puts it in, man. I really appreciate that. He reminds me of kind of like a race car driver. You know what I'm saying? When you get behind the wheel, it's all gas, no brakes. You better know how to control it. And that's exactly how his artwork comes at you. The one and only Isaac is me in the building. Come on, man. Let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Y'all can find me on Instagram at Isaac is me _. That's ISAACISME _. So this piece is called Nursing Home. So all right. Where did the time go? My age is now starting to show, heading more towards the outro than the intro. Meaning I have more time in front of me than I do. Meaning I have more time behind me than I do in front of me. Have I healed? The reality of trauma has a funny way of distorting what's real. At times, I can remember summer days in 1999, yet I can't remember what I ate for dinner last night. Defaulting, I will be fine so much that now I don't feel anything inside. Sometimes I do not remember photo albums. Even while having the photo or watching the video in front of my eyes, I do not know who this person is. Nothing I recognize. Do not remember those capture moments. Not at all a surprise. At times, I feel a knot in my throat, and tears start to blur my eyes. Trauma made me detached, and it started to blur the lines from my history, having me feel nothing inside. It's numbing. Jumping into an ocean of Novocaine, I'm just being frank with you. It makes me shrug my shoulders, even when I should be happy with emotion. I wish I were well. Well, flooding my wishing well, there's been a drought for the longest. This is my way of screaming for help. Hello, hello. I hear the echo, or is it what I want to hear, like an echo chamber, a prisoner of my own mind? I have been in a void in my whole life. Wait, I believe this is the frustration and anger I had built in this whole time. Finally, seeing that this beast just wanted to be a gentle giant. I could not be in my environment. I was not emotionally in a safe space. An endangered species thrown to the wolves, now much older. Heart was cold. I was beginning to feel my frozen heart thaw. Who would have thought? Changing my narrative, believing in myself. When things are overwhelming, speaking up and seeking professional help, boundaries have allowed me to love me. It created a standard of what you should and should not tolerate. Looking back at my life, I can see now how I can improve and now move forward. Don't dwell on what was said and done because it's already said and done. Poor choices are part of the lessons. We should learn and apply the knowledge. We should always be open-minded and try new things. Sometimes moving on from your past is closure. Poem.
Yeah, man. Talk that healing shit for real. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Isaac. It's me. Wow, man.
Yeah, I was just identified with how you kicked off this poem, Isaac. And, it's a poem about mortality, sort of overall. And love this line, poor choices are a part of the lesson. But you confront this kind of existential thing that everybody fears, and it's hard for people to talk about. And you came to task with it in the poem. really successfully to my ears, this fear about um, having to question our own identity. We get to a certain point in our life and we know ourselves fairly well, but then things start happening with us, things like you talked about memory and stuff. And, our own identity starts to become a question. And it's this thing about the fear of losing our own self.
Right.
And, that is totally frightening to people. And it's not a subject or a theme I've heard that many people go after in a poem. So, I really identified with a lot of it. I have problems with my memory too, but I think I'm a good bit older than you, so I have a lot better excuse.
Hey, that part, Paul, that part. I was going to ask Isaac, when did he become an OG? That you got more time behind you than you do in front of you. I mean, I'm thinking that same thing, and I think I got like 20 years on you, bro. But that's all right. You got a much broader perspective, recognizing that there's still time ahead of you, untouched, open to you,
Right.
and room to create. I love that. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I dig what you're saying, Norm. For somebody who's at the point in his life where Isaac is, it's the fact that he's a poet, that he has this vision of this situation. That's a maturity you don't get for most people who aren't prepared to indulge in this kind of self-disclosure and taking a close look at yourself and being sensitive to these kinds of shifts within yourself.
Yeah, it was definitely something that we all struggle with, right? But I think it's important to look at it from a positive outlook, and we still have time. Even you guys might be a little bit older than me, but you still are relatively young, right? Like we still have time. We're talking now. We're healthy. We have oxygen in our lungs. We have another opportunity to grow and adapt and pivot for whatever challenges that are going through or overcame. So
Yeah, straight up. You're always going to have 5 minutes past when you don't have any more time. There's always time.
Right.
What I've learned as a teacher is the older generation benefits from being around the younger generation because they stay up on all the latest trends. But the younger generation also benefits from the older generation because they're up on game, right? It is a relationship that builds upon each other, right? Younger people have the youth that older people want, but older people have the wisdom that younger people want, right? It's balance. It's definitely an equilibrium, right? But you don't understand how finite this life is until you get past a certain age, right? And then you're seeing these kids, right? They out ghost riding a whip, right? They doing all these extreme sports. And older people are just like, shit, if I had those extra 5 minutes, I would not be bungee jumping. Let me tell you. Right? I would not. But we both learn from each other. And I think that's what that poem speaks to very, very clearly. A prisoner of my own mind. You said boundaries have allowed me to love me. And that sentiment right there, man, is extremely powerful. Thank you for kind of putting a timeline into perspective in a poem. Amazing work. Truly appreciate you. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, another one of my spiritual advisors. The priestess is just a blessing when she comes through. I love our conversations about education. She continues to enlighten me on just life in general, about pieces of me that I thought I knew. pieces of history that I thought I had a grasp on, and she continues to help me with the depth of my knowledge. I definitely appreciate her for always doing that, always plugging in, always praying for me. It really means a lot. The one and only Osunyoyin in the building. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, Priestess. Please take it away.
I can be found in all the normal places and all the unexpected places in your imagination too. The theme is actually tonight is actually seems very well suited to me. Those of you who know my work, but I went in an entirely different direction. So I've been doing the 30-30, so it's been kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And I'm a little behind. I did half a poem yesterday and half a poem today. So maybe I'll get both of them finished tonight. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, here's the poem. No wonder. We traded lyrics for lies, peacemakers for politicians, morals for money. We sought trivia over knowledge, stimulation over understanding, distraction over clarity. We accepted doctrine instead of ideas, politicians instead of leaders, status quo instead of revolution. We pledged in gang initiations instead of manhood rites of passage, home genius and murder, crack cocaine and fentanyl poison in place of healing medicine. We worship popularity, not character, gluttony, not generosity, power, not love. We embrace bodies and ignore souls. We fight over religion and ignore spirituality, claim our humanity and are blind to our own divinity. We stoically limp in darkness, yet fearfully hide from the light. No wonder.
Wow. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Osunyoyin.
Yes, sister, you named all of our contradictions, from for all the ages. And looking in the physical when we are mostly metaphysical. Thank you so much for highlighting all of our things that are extremes. Thank you, baby.
Thank you.
I thought that was great. It was it just really explained everything about humankind now, or maybe just humankind, period. I don't really know, but it was very well done. Very well
Thank you.
done.
I wonder sometimes how much we've really changed.
Yeah.
If we've changed.
Yeah, I like what Norm was saying about the metaphysical, because, I don't need to tell some of you all, but there's such a big cultural difference between the mainstream culture that's all about materiality and corporeality, but a lot of cultural traditions that predate this society. Human being is looked at as being primarily a metaphysical entity. And it's just this physical thing we see here in front of us that's just, a kind of temporary container for the metaphysical. But you said you went in a different direction, but I always like when you make that disclaimer of Shunyoyin and how you set it up, no wonder, like duh, and it's all about these, as Norm was saying too, these kind of binary conflicts and how humanity is just perpetually seeming to settle for less and doesn't even seem to be aware how much benefit there would be if it would forego all of this, all these earthly concerns, so to speak. And in the end, it's really a poem about human ignorance that you're taking to task. And, again, you're one of the most fearless people I know who will speak straight to that issue.
I think when people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it's funny to me now how we are right now. Anything that steps into that metaphysical, everyone is like, oh, no, that's not real. And my question is, what is real?
Every
Yeah.
time you read, I think it reminds me of my own spiritual journey of just kind of going backwards to the truth, that my ancestors and what they had to teach instead of looking for the lessons in all the wrong places. And I'm always so grateful when you read, because it's just a spirit. It's always a lesson that I just heard but really needed to hear, right? And it always is. It's just truth, and going back to the truth instead of whatever.
Thank you. It's powerful. We all have a message, and it's good when we can write it and deliver it. And we have to hear every message. We have to hear everybody's message.
Thank you.
It's a collective, right? This is what I love about this community. It's why I call it the greatest community in the world, because collectively we are a healing force, right? We are healing each other, but I believe that we are doing our part in healing the world through our artistry, right? So I said one poem at a time. And when you write things like this, Priestess, it just reminds us, that we can get lost, right, in the news cycles, but we're reminded of some things that you remind us of the things that need to bring us back to center, right? You said we trade peace for lies, status quo instead of revolution. We embrace bodies and ignore souls, right? We really need to get back to the essence of who we are, right? Not what society says we're supposed to be, but who our ancestors need us to be going forward. So thank you for always doing what you do. We appreciate you. Also, Osunyoyin is also a contributor to the Sunday's Open House anthology. It's an amazing piece of work. Make sure you get your hands on it, folks. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, listen, this gentleman right here, man, he is just all kinds of incredible. He is a warrior in the truest sense. He is an author, a playwright, a pushcart nominee, author of an incredible list of books, including Four Crescents, Black Calculus, Evaporating Rage, and many more. The one and only Noah Mathematics in the building. Come on, Math. Let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful evening, hanging out with my contemporaries and the spirits that surround us. This first piece is on theme. It's titled Sacred Secret. Love is so sacred, it becomes a secret. We dare not tell. We dare not show. A sign of weakness, a show of strength. To say you feel it, too strong, too soon, never too much. Unimagined, undeserved, unrequited, unaccepted, rejected 3 times, unreciprocated, unspoken. Never tell. Don't want them to know. Afraid, ashamed that it's unreasonable, unbelievable, like it can't be true. I love you. Takes faith, makes a promise, keeps a promise, fingers crossed behind my back, thinking there's a way out, an escape, dig a basement, a back door to doubt. Love, am I worth it? Next piece. Galaxy Abyss. Words walk me from a whim to a whiff in the winds. to where the sound of the silent E splashes in the breeze of a waving tongue. R's run like rivers, railroads, and ferrocarriles, going in all directions, like wane shorter blue notes spin spirals. Web spin, drunken monkeys see, monkeys do, from notion to motion. Words flash thunder, throw down thumbs, drums, beat on a virtual screen. Words put on paper, pen, pencil, a fingernail traced in the sky. A crescent moon hangs over a midnight horizon. A word like an arc of light connecting 2 points I try to marry till death do us parts, of the same circle, the same pueblo, the same tribe of hearts and minds, speaking hidden truths instead of transparent lies. Fingers flash, bring the same fury, despite desperate to cross the abyss of ignorance, especially when ears don't listen. Speaking is babble, unless words string together like this. Hands and fingers sign across space, conjure meaning better than blind ignorance, bleeding treacherous lies. Peace.
Unmute yourself, give it up for the maestro.
And I don't know where you get all that, but it's wonderful. Thank you very much for your work.
That first piece was just unbelievable. Really, really spoke to me. If you grow up in an environment that doesn't really show a lot of that, a lot of love, and who knows why, but you grow up that way and that's what you think is normal. It's sort of, it really affects you for the rest of your life in certain ways. So I really appreciate it. It was beautifully done.
Yeah, it was the mic drop line on that poem that got to me. Love, am I worth it? Norm, nobody wags a finger like you do in your poetry. It's just it's tough love as poetry, and it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's interesting though that your piece to me, that first piece, it pointed out all the ridiculous ideas that we have sometimes of what love is, when actually that's our essence. That's what we're made of. And then we all sit around and wonder, when whatever it is that happens, and it's not love that's the problem, it's our perception. We sit around and wonder, am I worthy? How can you be unworthy of something that you are, that you were made of? I really like that piece. It made me think.
Thank you, Oshun. That is the wise that was listening to the piece in my poem that I was questioning. And it always it's one of the things that we fear most, aside from death, is that, am I worthy of love? Am I worthy of love before I die? You know what? Woof, my goodness, I'm scaring myself. Anyway, thank you so much for your attentions.
Thank you, Norm.
This is what we do. Right? This is what I love poets. This is what I love about artists, right? It's like, you're just so magical. You're just so fearless when you write about something as tumultuous as love, right? Because everyone has their own definition of love. Though there is a definition according to Merriam-Webster, right? But everyone has their own perception of love. And I love what the priestess said about how could you feel like you're not worthy of something you're made of? right? Math, you just have a way of like really sparking certain frequencies in our brains. Um, and I love how you do that, and you do it just calmly, like really, like, oh, don't worry, I'm just going to dissect your brain for you. No need to worry, right? Kind of like Hannibal did in the movie, and he's feeding the guy. It's kind of like that. Like you don't even know that you're being dissected beautifully, um, but your words are just like they're just calming and they're powerful every single time. So thank you for doing what you do, for being the warrior that you are, and making time to come and rock with us. We appreciate you. All right, let's keep it going. So we have 5 left on the guaranteed list, but we also have Lantern came into the room, and of course LadyK is here. So we are definitely going to make room for them as well. And then of course the Outlaw in the building will rock on our good luck round. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, a true Lower East Side in the building. You have heard his commentary throughout the evening. I can't thank this gentleman enough for all that he does for not only the New Eureka Poets Cafe, but for the greatest community in the world. He is so very dedicated, so very connected and committed to everything that happens here. I truly, truly can't thank you enough, sir. Our resident Gilgamesh in the building, the one and only Paul Skiff is here. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. The Enigma, not an enigma. The Enigma is here. Great to see you as always, sir. Please take it away.
Hi, thanks. I'm trying to get this poem up. I'm just going to do a bunch of short poems, nothing particularly on theme. The first one is, it is 3 a.m, and the only thing I have said for the past 2 days is, get away from me, you fucking aggressive asshole. I know it did not speak English, but I am sure the fly understood what I meant. The next one is, may peace be upon you like a horny lover sucking insatiably, ignoring your pleasure for their own need. The next one is, my outcome of your nowhere became as nothing because it can't. The next one has a title, How to Explain War to a Vegetable. You were a tender young carrot and I ate you. I will never regret it. And 2 days from now, I will have totally forgotten. I know that would sound terribly human to you, but you should see what we do to ourselves. The next one is, what is the upside down of upside down? What is the inside out of inside out? The sarcasm of vertigo. The next one is, no one can be more scared than capitalism faced by a rapid drop in profit because someone stuck a weapon loaded with righteousness in its face and said, give your money to everyone else. The next one is, want to know how big of an idiot the mayor is? Just ask all the illegal guns in the neighborhood. The next one is, limitless love access will leave you heart swallowed. The next one is, there are plenty of ways to say nothing and no way to say everything. That is the difference between insincerity and love. The next one is, the only me you know is outside of me. The next one is, I want to love you more than you can kill me. The next one is, Yes, I am pouring champagne into the river. That is what you smell. There is nothing you can do to find out why. Half of life is like this, mystery below your senses, maid of vanished time and trickster fortune that snuck past explanation, so do not even guess. When you see me laying in the park fountain, how a mind decided on nonsense, maybe a provocation would make you cry. The next one is, how is Panky's hanky-panky different from Hanky's panky? And the last one is, at noon, I want to pee all over the middle of the intersection at Wall Street and Broad Street, like I was a 1-ton municipal police horse. And like that horse, I'm going to stand there for a full 4 minutes, offloading a stream of luxurious soaking flood as blatant display of your tax dollars being overspent. So all the taxis and bicycle delivery guys are stuck waiting at the corners while my 4 minutes worth of pee flows all the way down Wall Street. In a jealous grumble of envy, boo boo, the pit bull thought to himself. Thank you.
I told y'all, the enigma, not an. Unmute yourself, give it up for Paul Skiff.
When I tell you that was absolutely what I needed, that was hilarious. 4 minutes of peeing on Wall Street. Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that back. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Talk about the humor in your sarcasm. I'm rolling over here. Thank you so much for lightening up the realities, bro. Thank you so much.
You just make me want to. I'm just never gonna stop writing because you're just gold. I got it. So fucking good. I don't know how you do it. I'm never gonna stop until I come kind of close, remotely close.
Oh,
Thank
please.
you so much. So
Dre,
fucking good.
I think we have a mutual admiration society going because I'm just floored by what you offer up here every week. And LadyK and Norm, sometimes the city or life, it just gives you those gifts. You're just there at the right time. And, that was my tax dollars coming out of that 1-ton horse's cock.
Well, one thought led to the next, and it was really, really hard to digest one before going on to the other. That was something else.
Yeah, to get all of that sort of philosophy, humor, sarcasm into one line, one line, like a sentence, is miraculous, really.
You gave us a devotional. Like it was a devotional. It was like I can wake up on Tuesday, flip the page open, and there's a big penis pissing on Wall Street, and flip the page on next Thursday, and it's the sarcasm. Like it was fucking impressive, Skiff. Like holy shit.
Coming from you, Maze, I'm bowing down.
Oh my
God.
Well,
I'm never more at home, I say this all the time, than when I'm here with all of you. So I totally feel welcomed every week.
Sir, you had me at carrot. Just the damn carrot, man. And then you said, what is the inside out of Inside Out? The sarcasm of Vertigo. Come on, man. What galaxy are you from? The only me you know is outside of me. I want to love you more than you can kill me. Okay. I get excited. Understandably, I get excited. Artists really, really do this. right? And I can't thank y'all enough for really, really doing this, right? Some people dabble. Some people search their whole life for something that they are passionate about. But every single poem, every single line that I've heard this evening, it's refreshing to know that there are truly passionate people in the world. I'm not talking about competition, right? Because they're passionate, it's just directed in different ways, right? But this, right? This is when you're just like, you know what? The world deserves to hear these things. And the beauty of it, there's no ego here. There is no ego here. Y'all are amazing. Jedi Master, you just continue to amaze me. And you remind me that I need to work harder. So thank you for doing what you do. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, this gentleman is just all kinds of amazing. I love when I see him with his instrument, whether he is telling jokes, whether he is, serenading us, or he is sharing his beautiful family with us. He just always has something for us that I think continues to feed our soul. The one and only Catman Bill in the building. Come on, Catman. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's great to see you as always, sir. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Well, I have a blog on Substack under Bill Katz. It's easy to find. Anyway, I hate to follow in the footsteps of the great Paul Skiff, but I have no choice. So a few years ago, I read a poem online by this British poet who lives now in Lima. And she wrote a poem called Absence, which was the motivation for me to write a song about my mother's Alzheimer's that took place 20 years previously. So the poem that inspired me, we all need our inspirations, by Rosemary Boehm, called Absence. It is unquiet, furless animals. Her hands are comforting each other on light blue cotton and a piece of creamy silk. Still there is beauty in her face, all folded in upon itself. Her eyes have found a focus on the Milky Way. Her ears are turned to broadcasts from distant nebulae. Acknowledging my touch, she almost turns to me. Her puzzled voice is hesitant. And who are you? Mama Rose.
Catman, we can't hear your instrument. Do you have your the musician setting on? Original song for musicians.
I'll look, but this is a new iPad, so I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Shoot. Let me just
We definitely want the song. We definitely want the instrumentation of the song.
Okay, so what should I open up? More? Let's see, more video effects, disconnect audio settings.
Want the original sound for musicians. It should be right on the main screen.
Got it. How's this?
There we go, sir. Take it away.
Okay, so Mama Rose. She looks at me with kindly eyes, smiles and keeps asking why. Am I someone she ought to know? maybe just someone she used to know. There's beauty still remaining. She finds me entertaining. Ears turned to unheard words that last. Anchored in some far off distant past. But who are you? She asks again. Are you my daddy or just a friend? Or are you my husband? No, mommy, I'm just your only son. She turns to me just one more time, puzzled by this voice of mine. Are you my daddy or just a friend? Yes, mommy, I know I am your friend. Thank you.
Your musicianship is incredible, sir. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Catman Bill.
That was amazing. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful music. You always have great music.
Thank
really,
you.
really,
Yeah,
really.
nice guitar work, Bill. Great.
Excellent.
Real nice. Love it.
Yeah, glad you found the function on your iPad because it made all the difference. It was so clean and crystal clear and beautiful. And I totally love the sentiments, and the short poem at the beginning was so poignant. You
Yeah,
know?
I actually, the good things about online is that you can find people in the world. So I looked up Rosemary Boehm, and she could be found, and she's, as I said, living in Lima. So I tapped her a brief note, and I told her that her poem was the impetus for an inspiration for my song. And after I recorded it on YouTube, I sent it to her, and she was delighted to hear it.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
great story.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So soulful, but not in a sad way, just a soulful, so soulful to me. It was really, really good. Really.
Thank you.
Wow, sir. That's pretty amazing. Really. To to borrow a word from my slam master, it takes some moxie to do something like that. For real, man. For you to just reach out and just like, thankfully though, you're an incredible musician. And you didn't completely crash and burn such a beautiful sentiment, right? Just amazing. Like I really love your guitar work. Your musicianship is stellar. and I never feel like you're competing with your instrument. There is a beautiful synergy between the two of you. And it really, really works great. I've been listening to your music for years, sir, and it is completely stellar. Thank you for all that you do, sir. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, yo. So this next poet, she brings us a slice of life every time that I hear her. And a couple weeks ago, she had a couple of the community members in here in tears, man. And I love when people come through with just a level of truth that people can feel, right? That is not easy, folks, right? Just like trying to write jokes into poems. It's not easy. But getting your sentiment across and making your audience feel what you feel, it is not easy. But she does it extremely well. The one and only Maanya is in the building. Great to see you as always. Let these folks know where they can find you. Please, take it away.
Hi, everyone. You can find me at the Dabbler's Diaries on Instagram and YouTube. I have 2 pieces for y'all today. I am not a poet. I don't sing with my words. I sing with my cries in the dead of night. My pillow knows my tears better than my eyes. I don't perform to an audience of people, just an audience of beer bottles scattered around my room, reminding me that I can't count above 27. 1 bottle for every lost connection. I don't write paintings. I write arguments in my brain, where I always say the right thing and I always win fights until I open my mouth and taste losing. I don't read Picasso, just my failures that display across my body, where fat pokes out and scars run deep, invisible to the eye, but surely not caused by me. So, I am not a poet. I don't sing in front of people. I leave it to the bottles to sing me a sweet lullaby. I wake up anyways, already behind. Next piece. I didn't hear the ambulance. Was I not paying attention, or was it 'cause I was in it? My eyes kept rolling back. Stay with me, a voice to my right says. If I could, I would have rolled my eyes. What do you think I'm trying to do? Why else would the sweat that velcroed me to that bathroom floor allow me to dial 911, the same hand that made the choice, dialing the numbers? Numbers I swore I'd never need again. It saved 1 life. What's 1 more to add to the list? I ripped myself off those cold tiles, used the 2 brain cells I had left, grabbed my apartment keys and my phone, my flip-flops barely hanging onto my toes, as I run into my dining table that has not moved an inch. Waited for 15 whole minutes. Left. Right. I call again. As the light kept getting closer, the asphalt was the only thing keeping me grounded. In that ambulance, my head leaned back, the silence making it seem like I had already ascended. The seatbelt digging in, holding me back, shoving my insurance card down everyone's throat just to make sure I could survive making the wrong choice. But once that bill came, my socks damn near flew off. Turns out their throats didn't swallow the insurance, instead regurgitated back as paper. I'm lucky I'm speaking this poem now. The last poet's smile is imprinted in my brain from the hospital, where they're sick again. But if the debt means I can make my bed 1 more time, I'd do it all over again. Thank you.
I told y'all, she just does this. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Maanya.
You gotta know that there's something special about you, right? Like you gotta know, like you have this perspective, right? If the world was getting pissy and shit face off gasoline, you would come smelling of turpentine. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this thing, this angle about you, and the way you talk about life that's unique to you. And it's like every time I hear you do a poem, you're opening up a door, and I'm sitting there like this, just sucking it all up. Like, this is something I might never hear said this way, just like this again. And you do it every week. Like, you gotta know you got something special.
All that.
You-
So good. Thank you.
Well, it was, again, I'm going to say it was great to hear you speak. You spoke these poems yesterday at the, in-person Wednesday thing at Lois Ida Center. So kind of a privilege and luck to hear it a second time, and I can kind of zero in on them more. But kind of following somewhat what Maze was remarking on, you have a way of conveying, being inside the trauma itself, right? And without really sensationalizing it. It's one of those things where you're outside yourself, kind of looking at yourself, that almost out of body experience perspective. That's kind of really magical to pull off. And I guess that goes to what Maze was saying. Also, you got to know there's something special about you, because a lot of writers who write about other characters, the magic is to make the leap, right? From them being the writer into the mind of the character, right? But you make this leap kind of out of yourself to look back at yourself. That's just really a kind of magic thing to do. And it makes your poems really, really riveting and startling. But again, to me, it's not kind of like in a sensationalistic way. It's kind of like you're just kind of sitting back going, yeah, this is what's going on. And I just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. That seems to be sort of somewhat of the message you bring forth. That's a kind of stoicism,
Yeah, when you and I completely understand it is not easy to kind of step outside of yourself and discuss yourself or describe yourself in the third person sense, right? But seeing yourself move in these ways and not try to, dramatize it, but actually just tell the story of what's happening, right? Actually seeing what's happening and telling the exact story. That takes courage, right? Because people with a pen, people with a pencil, they will draw themselves into Mickey Mouse if you let them, right? But to see themselves as just a character, right? A stick figure in a world of stick figures, and be able to just tell this story. There's something very powerful about that, and honest. Thank you for that. Right? You said I write arguments in my brain, right? Till I open my mouth and taste losing. I leave it to the bottles to sing me a sweet lullaby. Come on. Come on. Come on. I told y'all, she just has a way of bringing a slice of life to us. That's just very, very uniquely yours. But it's something that clearly your colleagues can understand and appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Homie Simba. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, I have not seen this incredible artist in a while. He is such an incredible being. Every time he comes through, and I've been rocking with this cat since the pandemic, and every time he comes through, he just has such incredible stories to tell, man. Like he is just one of these dudes. Shout out the educators in the building. He's just amazing, y'all. Prepare yourself for the one and only Xanadu in the building. Come on, let these folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I'm want to present a new book. a new art book. I'm not sure if you can see it. I will put the cover in the. We'll put the cover in the chat. If you can see it now, yes. So it's called Kuveswa Matombo Kweva Shona, but you cannot see it. And in English, Shona stone sculpture about Zimbabwe and Malawi, the Shona people who have their specific kind of sculpture. And also one of the sculptures has joined the group today, Moraima. Moraima, who may do a performance next time. So it's about the Shona stone sculpture from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Mozambique, and how they relate to modernism, European modernism. Yeah, you know that European modernism, like Matisse and Brancusi and Miro, Picasso, they all have been influenced by African traditional arts, and now the African traditional arts are also influenced by modernism. So this book is about the reciprocity. And I hope that Moraima can read a poem next time, and she has already contributed to this book by reading for another open mic this book. Sorry, this poem. It actually manifesto of the fourth generation. So it's my book is about the first generation, which is Takabira, Muteta, Mubayi, Mariga. And the third generation is also represented Chamutso and Mukundi. So maybe next time Moraima. Maybe I can you see the chat? In the chat you see, if you download the chat, you see King Ol, and I will read now a poetical portrayal of King Ol. King Ol, it's a poetical portrayal of one of the Shona stone sculptures, I guess from the first or the second generation, called Munyarachi Detje 2023 King Ol in pink granite. So that's the cover now, and I will read a poetical portrayal also referring to the European modernists and also to Kenyan art, reminding Kisii open sculptures from indigenous Afro-Cubism. It leaves matter out to show space as quintessential particular of the African experience. Sun hot at daytime, dusk dark at night, with hardly any in-betweens around the equator. No temperate day, light-saving zones, and locals may say, without sunglasses and car lights at dark. Iconizing Ols by just two giant eyes, small tapering body, transparent like heat, rejoicing in shade. Possible produce of witchcraft, it exists out of minimalist means in modernist style, like putting a spell to and from traditional arts. Slipping one's tongue, one might get King Oil, a secular fulfillment of bad omen prophecy that makes one long for near and far future of solar and hydropower, when Africa may rise to rule the world again from tropical and natural resources far beyond gold and diamonds, of sustainable and renewable energy that is an equivalent to mass as energy equals mass times speed of light in vacuum squared, and the bending of ray of light in the solar eclipse experiments in Principe Africa of 1919, Einstein's happiest day of general relativity. While the top-heavy shape of King Ol may defy sublunar gravity like some of Matobo's cracked rocks, resulting from opposing forces of expansion and contraction, because of giant differences of diurnal and nocturnal temperature, displaying concave rock cavings of prehistoric humanoid and animaloid hybrids of hunter-gatherers engaged in ritual dances. Affecting global modernism's King Ol rises up from craft to art, encouraged by spiritual ecological depth. It transcends industrial economic debt. Feminine symbol clad in masculine title, representing androgyny and royalty, reminding ancient pharaonics. So that's the poetical portrayal of what you see in the chat now. And maybe I can read one more poem from the Louvre, where they still have some art from Africa and Latin America that they may return. And before long, actually, that's what they're saying. Now it's still in the Louvre. It's called Muayi hat. That's from Latin America. It's closer to America. goes like this: giant like 3 times 2 meter, weathered and eroded. It has retained its main features but lost on details. Short forehead like a hairband, deep eye sockets from which the eyes are missing, but concave holes. Smooth its right eye, rough its left eye, from which nose stands out strong, robust, angular, ending in 2 round nostrils just above a slit of stone that portrays the mouth, sad, mouth corners down, and shallow lips that seem rather part of surrounding skin, straight down to its chin, where it ends like a mask rather than a face. His ears are long and possibly extended by ornaments. Backside of sculpture is flat like reliefs. Its color seems to cover all hues between white and black, mainly gray. It lights up in museum lighting like a batter on Sunday. Yeah, and in the book I also present a kind of theory that may hold for all non-conventional art. For African traditional art, for Latin American art, also for African art, for oceanic art, for Chinese art. Maybe I can put in the chat as well. I've thought of a formula that may, this formula about n-dimensional art. N-dimensional art, which may say, as explained in this book, that Africa is space, Europe is time. These sculptures express curvature of space-time to multidimensional souls from primordial spirits rather than Euclidean restraints. No matter they are only metaphors and possibly they are not, quantum theory may rule consciousness, just like Xi and Tao Te Ching did and do to art, onto an n-dimensional view of art, fusing and mixing dimensions until optical illusions of balancing simultaneity and different points of view of mobile perspectives and literati paintings. So if you can see in the chat, it says that modern art is a accumulation of dimensions and perspectives and context from conventional art. So you can, let's say, kind of matrix to make the modern art conventional, if you would like. But usually in Shona stone sculpture, it is about spirits. So maybe next time I can really read a spiritual poem that also shows a spiritual being, as you can see in the Shapungo sculpture garden in Harare. Yeah. Well, this book, if you wish, you can buy it. Yeah, a little bit expensive to send it to United States, but it's $25, and then half of it goes to the Shapungo Sculpture Park, where Moraima is also engaged. Maybe Moraima can say something now. Moraima is also has also joined the open mic. Moraima Ndoflu, or maybe next time she can read another poem.
For sure, for sure.
Introducing, which
Thank
you may
you so
already know,
much for
the
all
Shona
that you
Stone
do,
Sculpture.
Xanadu. Like, for real, man. Like, yo, please unmute yourself. Give it up for Xanadu.
Maybe I can put some more sculptures in this one. 3 styles of Shona stone sculpture.
For sure. Like, that's just amazing work, sir.
Yeah,
Honestly,
some of
just
it
amazing work.
is realist, some of it is cubist, some of it is constructivist. Although that's my interpretation, but also what the sculptors say themselves now. Yeah, they feel they are inspired by Matisse and so actually talking back to each other. It's now
Thank
you
you.
can see the 3 sculptures, a cubist one, a realist one, and one I couldn't really describe yet, abstract head.
Yo, that's just amazing work,
Yeah.
sir. I really appreciate all the work that you put in putting something like this together. I love how you said, Africa coming back to rule the world, and highlighting a certain part of the world's artwork, right? And how their artwork was influenced by someone else, and now those people that they influenced are now influencing them. That's just amazing work. Thank you so much for doing that, for highlighting a part of the world that people always don't pay attention to. Morima, welcome. Make sure you do come back. We would love to hear your work. We would love to hear from you as well. We have to keep it going. We are nearing the end of the evening, so let's keep it going. Thank you, Xanadu. Amazing work as always, sir. I truly appreciate all the efforts that you put in to continue to do what you do. You're amazing. All right, coming up next. Listen, I hope you brought your thinking cap this evening. This gentleman, like, shout out to storytellers. This gentleman is like, for me, he's one of the original storytellers in poetry. He tells captivating stories that connect to ancestry and what's going on today. He is truly a man of the people, and he gets his hands dirty in the soil, like really helping to feed this generation and the next generation. It is time for our Tez Talk, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Mr. Tezozomoc is in the building. Mr. Tez, it's always great to see you, sir. Let these folks know where they can find you, please. Take it away.
I dropped it in the chat, and also, are you allowing the screen sharing or just go straight in? Okay. A murder without one. The canal has learned a new language, silence with infrastructure. Concrete remembers water the way a scar remembers a blade, accurate, unforgiving, no longer in use. This is the Friant Kern promise, translated into absence. A head gate stands like a mouth that forgot how to open, metal rusted into decision, hinge locked in policy, flow reduced to paperwork somewhere upstream, where men with soft hands measure urgency in acre feet of delay. And there, one crow, not a murder, not a Congress, not even a quorum, just one black body against the bleach arithmetic of drought, balance on the geometry of control, a witness that does not testify. You expect noise. Crows are supposed to argue the sky into meaning, but this one has already understood. There is nothing to argue with. The dirt below has fractured into a map of broken agreements. Each crack a clause, each fissure a revision, each plate of clay lifting like a document nobody signed, but everyone obeys. Out here, water is no longer a right. It is a rumor that travels faster than gravity. The crow leans forward, looks down into the throat of the canal. Nothing, no shimmer, no algae memory, no accidental mercy caught in shadow, just dust rehearsing the shape of flow. This is how it happens. First, the meetings, then the numbers, then the reallocation of consequence, and finally, the field learns last, always last. Cotton tries to speak through the crust, fails, cooks at the surface like a thought that never made it past the tongue. Button willow clay hardens into something sonic. Tap it and it rings, not with water, with vacancy, a frequency of administrative violence. The crow does not leave. It stands like a question nobody in the district wants to hear. What is a canal without water? What is a system without flow? What is governance when it forgets the body? We built gates to control the river. Now the river controls the story. Upstream, there are still conversations about efficiency. Downstream, there are still animals measuring time and thirst. The crow tilts its head, listening, not for water, for movement. Because even in collapse, something always moves. Wind, dust, policy, excuses, but not water, not today, not this week, not in the time for anything that matters. The crow lifts one foot, sets it back down, a small correction, a recalibration, the kind the system refuses to make. You want to call it a murder, you want to give it the dignity of plurality. There is no murder here, just one body holding the line on a dead mechanism, just one witness to a system that perfected distribution and forgot arrival, just one black mark on a landscape that keeps trying to call itself managed. The canal waits, the crow waits, the field does not, and somewhere behind another locked gate, Water holds itself together, perfect, obedient, useless. And then the closing haiku for the haibun. Empty canal mouth, one crow refuses the lie, flow died in the file.
I love when educators come through because they are just so stinking amazing. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tezozomoc.
Oh, let me be the idiot and be like, Tez, you got to read that haiku again. It got interrupted and I missed a fraction and I knew I couldn't have been the only person that missed that closing haiku. What was that closing haiku?
Empty canal mouth, one crow refuses the lie in the file.
Yeah, we got you, Mr. Tez. Go ahead.
All right. Empty canal mouth, one crow refuses the lie, flow died in the file.
You live up to your name, which has so much power in itself. Just as Mashika, the poetry, it was beautiful. I mean, you live up. I thank you. It was really beautiful, and it kind of brought me back to my own roots there too. Thank you for that, and I'm so glad we heard the haiku again. Thank you, CP. But that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Tez, you're like a fucking Polynoc, man. You're like a modern day Fight Club for the people. Like the whole while you're reading that, I'm thinking some Fight Club shit. Like I'm waiting for Tez to be like at a restaurant somewhere at like a Denny's or something, and he's just popping out the back, like dressed like somebody, cooking up shit that's gonna explode in the back. Tez, you are like a modern day Polynoc, dude. You're a Fight Club for the people. And I appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
I
sir.
really do. That's all. I got really excited about that. Sorry about that, y'all. That epiphany got me excited. My bad.
It's always great to see you here, Tez. And I'm a big fan of your talents and what you do. And I appreciate kind of one constant quality in some of your work is this just you can sort of faintly hear in the background how there's a bit of sarcasm and irony kind of humming in the background. And this was just you take apart things that are very complicated, and that's part of their defense. They have this surface of being really complicated, so they resist really accurate poeticization, but you're not perturbed by any of that, and you seem to kind of feast on complexity, and it really makes your poetry kind of a feast. And so, this was this poem about, some of these lines, the reallocation of consequence, administrative violence, and this kind of lesson or moral about how this administrative imposed oppressive control of nature vanishes when the resource it's supposed to be controlling vanishes. It's just self-defeating.
Right.
You see what happens when incredible artists get together and they start like bringing atoms together. Like in my brain, this is the Big Bang that people talk about. This is how worlds are born. This is how galaxies are formed. Is when great minds come together and create great things. You're just one of the artists that the future will be able to look back at and say he really put his hands into his work, right? Like I said, folks, this gentleman is a farmer, and he really does this. And so by him putting that same earth into his work, we are being fed every single time, right? Hence the Tez talk, right? He's just amazing. I had I had the beautiful luxury of meeting him in person, and he is just really, really, the energy coming from him is really, really real. What is governance when it forgets about the body? Water is no longer a right. What is a canal without water? Like, thank you so much, Mr. Tez. One thing I can tell y'all about Mr. Tez, he is not your chihuahua. Make sure you plug in with Mr. Tez because he is all kinds of incredible. Really. Thank you, sir. All right. So, there was something that was going to get down, and now we're going to make room for it. So, 3 little birds on my doorstep, telling me that there was something amazing happening. So, for the folks who have rocked with us this evening, let me prepare you for something that you've never heard. There are 2 artists in this building that are about to do something that we've never experienced, right? And they're both just so powerful. They're both just so. It's hard it's hard to make sure I find the right space to put them in because they are about to do something that I didn't know I needed. So please prepare yourself. Coming up first, the most eloquent writer in the world, across the pond where it's wicked late, even more wicked late than usual. I like to say this gentleman has a thing going on with love like Billy Paul and Mrs. Jones. The one and only lantern carrier in the building. And this evening, he has decided to do a collaborative effort with an artist who is a powerhouse in her own right. She does this for real. Every time I come across her, I have come across her. She has found herself on final stages at every competition because she is just that dope. The one and only LadyK is in the building. And so what we are about to experience, folks, is something that, strap yourself in, 5-point harness. Get ready for what they are about to do. It is great to see you both. Thank you for taking the time to do what you do. I am so looking forward to this. Please, take it away, folks.
My apologies to the illustrious LadyK. I just fell asleep. Never happened before. So sorry. Are you ready, LadyK?
I am. That's good.
Right. Poetry is a melody calligraphed on the soul and drenched in holiness. A man was so touched by the eloquence and message of my words that he ran to the stage and kissed me.
I have watched rooms fall to their knees without ever bending their bodies, seen grown men call it performance until the poem pressed its thumb into the softest part of memory, and suddenly they remembered they were human first.
A host was so moved after hearing my stories one night that he evoked the remedial mantra, "We are healed." Poets chanted, and that day I recognized the power and sacredness of words.
I have heard healing sound like my own name spoken correctly for the first time, like a room full of strangers deciding my story was not too heavy to hold, and for a moment, I did not have to carry myself alone.
A woman wrote from China to a poet once, saying she was on the verge of suicide. until his words flowed like life-giving water, ultimately altering her perspective.
I have written lines not knowing whose wrists they would intercept, ink traveling farther than my prayers, finding posts where silence tried to win, and it terrifies me, this power to be the difference between ending and endurance.
But I digressed. I am in a Kenyan village listening to a story given to children to enact. It is about the Good Samaritan, and the actors are deliberately chosen from African, Chinese, and Indian heritage.
I come from a people who made scripture out of survival, raised on Sunday morning sermons and side eyes, where testimony ain't written, it is lived out loud in kitchens, in pews, on the front porches, where once upon a time sounds like, girl, let me tell you what God done brought me through.
They portray the parable's messages of compassion, kindness, and neighborliness so vividly that I began to have déjà vu of my mother's bedtime stories, Dad's fervent reciting the Lord's Prayer of Psalms, we both walking through the valley of the shadow of death.
My aunties didn't just tell stories, they armored me in them, wrapped parabels around my spine so I could stand upright in a world that kept trying to rewrite me smaller.
Clicks, cracks. To begin the tales of Brer Nancy, the Spider-Man, of Burble and other jesters in the king's court, of Mullah Nasruddin, the legendary 13th century folk hero.
We called him Anansi, not just trickster, but teacher, proof that even the smallest body could outthink giants if you learn to weave your words into webs strong enough to hold truth.
One said he was revered across Asia for his wit, wisdom, and humor, laced with clever solutions and subtle moral lessons, making him a beloved Gele of folklore in Africa's Mandinga storytelling traditions.
Where I come from, storytellers are archivists of breath. We don't just remember history, we keep it alive in the rhythm of our tongues, refusing to let our ancestors become footnotes.
She told sacred tales of an Adam so besotted with the nakedness of Eve that he ate a forbidden apple and was bitten by a venomous snake, protective of her privacy like greed does with offshore accounts. Alas, this bewitchment led to his demise, causing his fall from paradise.
And I always wondered why desire was written as downfall when curiosity is what made us divine enough to question Eden in the first place.
Oh, Samson, so in love with Delilah that you became chained by the lust of her betrayal. Oh, vulnerabilities, oh, foibles. I sometimes forget, like bullies, that I can be susceptible to temptations and deceits, like foxes, fortunate enough not to be an Epstein dragon.
We are taught to fear betrayal, but rarely taught how power manipulates vulnerability, how bodies, especially ours, become collateral in stories told by men who never had to survive them.
We become defenseless to schemes and sometimes pay the ultimate price, like Samson, whose strength was in his uncut hair, not the power of armies.
Strength is not always in what we carry. Sometimes it is in what we refuse to let define us.
There were sublime stories too, as delectable as my mom's scrumptious puddings, of the one hidden in my heart who died on a cross and rose victorious, did the same in the breath of Lazarus. Daniel was cast into a den of lions, but Mom said that love entered the lair, adorning his soul with rhapsody.
I learned early resurrection is not just miracle, it's practice. A daily choosing to rise even when life keeps rehearsing your burial.
Moses was exalted in the burning bush, while Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into a fiery furnace by the king of Babylon. But love walked undaunted through the flames, vanquishing the heat with a living water.
And I have walked through fires that did not burn me, only revealed what was never meant to be consumed.
Mom said that Joseph was thrown into a well of suffering, but the beloved lifted him to glory in his father's kingdom.
because sometimes the pit is just a preface, a place where your voice echoes long enough for you to finally hear who you were always meant to become.
These sacred stories shaped my life. And now, listening to the Kenyan children, I etch prayers on my heart and soul to Mom, my grandparents, who gave us the sacred psalms of Anansi and folklore tales for preservation, for sanctity of life. I bow, pay homage to the one, pay homage to the one.
I used to think sacred meant distant, untouchable, something reserved for pages and pulpits. But now I know the sacred sounds like breath catching midline, like truth trembling before it decides to be loud, like a room full of people realizing they have been healed without ever being asked to be whole first. So no, these are not just stories we pray. These are stories that pray us back to life. And if you listen closely, you can hear them still writing us into something holy.
And if you listen closely, you can hear them still writing us back into something holy. This has been the illustrious voice of LadyK and the Lantern Carrier. Thank you so much.
I mean,
unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier and LadyK. Wow.
You redefined. I don't know if it's a word for like if there should be a gender fluid word for griot, but like y'all just redefined like a modern day version of what a griot is. Y'all just gave it back breath to people who only hear the word griot and think old. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all told stories and kept them going, and they were rich, and they had texture, and they flirted a little bit with each other, and they gave us highs and they gave us lows. Like it was all of that. Like it was. I hate both of you with everything that I have right now. Shit.
Feel like
That's
you,
good writing.
that's such good writing. I will never need drugs again, y'all. That like that, so good. It was just a moment. Thank you so much for that. So thank you.
thank you, Lantern, for even putting it out there for me to
Thank
contribute. It was
you. Thank you.
amazing.
My apologies. I fell asleep. Never happened before. So sorry.
That just means that they needed to wait to hear it. That's why.
That's right.
That's all.
That's exactly right. It came at the most amazing time, and it was. I just don't know how you two even did that. I don't know. Yeah, I have to listen to that again. It was really outstanding. It really was.
See, I think, as a collaboration, it was just this very intimate and back and forth, sensitive kind of vocal dance, it was really so well balanced and on such an even keel. And, it's a total celebration of the generative quality of the spoken word, the power of the spoken word. It was just a testimony to that. It was a really tremendous testimony to that. And, I'm thinking to myself, listening to this poem, you see, every time I hear somebody say or question or laugh at poetry, why is poetry important? They should just be pointed to the recording of this because it just is irrefutable and you cover all the bases, and it's just such a way more than eloquent and it's just an unassailable rationale celebrating the power of the spoken word, just all the examples and so forth. There's no way to question that. So, I mean, this is just a really powerful testimony. Lady K, you said, stories that pray us back to life. I mean, right there, the power of the spoken word. And I couldn't have hoped to hear it danced out by any better voices than what you brought here tonight. And that's what this place is for. And I would say, any poetry reading, We are here to create moments of emotional communion. And you did that so beautifully for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jedi Master, I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you.
So, like, Lantern Carrier is like the king of collaborations, right? Lantern Carrier, he even brings people that the community has, their first time coming to the community is in a collaboration with Lantern Carrier. I myself have done collaborations with Lantern Carrier. And every single time he does it, he takes it up another notch. Every single time. And I love the fact, Lantern, that you are not driven by, oh, I can outright this person. Or, oh, I think that I can, my writing will stand in a superior stance over this person to highlight myself. There's never any ego in your writing, Lantern. And you truly approach writing from a space of love. And when I hear poems like this, first of all, I had no idea that this was even cooking, right? Because if the world knew that this was cooking, you would have had a line outside your house that wrapped around the damn corner. All right? This is an amazing piece of showing how love and respect exist on the same plane, right? And just how powerful it can be when artists show that love to each other, when they remember it's not a competition, when they remember that poetry is the vehicle here. And respect is the house that poetry builds. Like, I love poets. Gosh, I love poets, man. Thank you so much to both of you. I implore the world to go back and listen to their collaboration. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much for both of you, for your dedication, for your focus, and for sharing such a powerful piece with us. Both of you are absolutely amazing. Okay. Right, if we could give you a standing ovation, like, this is what it sounds like. So we have reached the end of the guaranteed list, and we are going to end the night with someone who is just one of those. So I'll try to keep this brief, right? Because I know we reached we reached the third hour. Check this out. Last night, I caught a glimmering glimpse of a suicidal firefly flicking off his own light switch and cried. So last night in Houston, Texas, at the Right About Now stage, there was a feature by the name of CPMaze. And he got up on stage, shot out Swanye West. He brought his wife on stage and they killed it. Almost had one of the Outlaws in a very bad way, because it was just a bad way. Shout out to Queen. This gentleman, he's just one of those, right? I have learned so much from him. I continue to learn from him. He is my slam master. He is a slam master of the world. Future poet laureate of Earth and all outlaw. He's a contributor to the Sunday Open House Anthology, produced by Abiodun of the Last Poets. Also contributor to Incoming Fire, produced by the Outlaws, as well as Blood in the Water, produced by the Outlaws. It's a slam master of the world. Prepare yourself Let the church say, God damn, here he come again. The one and only CPMaze in the building. Come on, man. Let these folks know what it is, folks. Close us out this evening. Take it away.
There's about to be a 100-year anniversary of Ginsberg's birthday. And this poem got selected to be in that publication. I'm super excited about it. This is the condensed version of that poem. I'm a titan's loose tooth underneath the toddler's pillow. There's a fist full of breeze, a bit knuckle clutching burning trees, and so much drugs on this table that if you can't get hallelujah, then God doesn't exist. Never mind, my girlfriend has an open door above her wrist. Never mind, our homegirl is a cutter whose cutting board is in between her toes. When the lights finally go down and never come back on again, will you remember that we were forever wildflowers, wishing well warrants cardiac arrest and Christ-given creative licenses to kill. A windpipe bomb I am. But this morning, Bonnie, I felt like a scratched-off serial number on a dirty pistol used to kill time. Felt like a wisdom tooth riot in the doctor's office. You can tell by how my kerosene shadow, karma's smile, still smells like gasoline speech with a slight hint of heaven. I need an Uber right goddamn now. I wrote and rode a metaphor out of hell this morning, knowing damn well I could always be edited right back before supper time. Kinfolk, if I tell you I found my divorce lawyer in the basement of a bottle, better believe I'm being honest. My prayers didn't come by way of a God stunting and or flexing for goddamn bragging rights. Drunk off dreams, my liver's what a gladiator does in this off time. Have you ever woke up on the wrong side of your future and realized the snooze buttons, a corporate short and a Walmart tie? I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. I didn't know I was speeding through life. Didn't know the stop sign was a car accident smile. Love, at my most vulnerable, I am fully clothed in front of a mouth for a mirror. I prefer my passion with no panties on as a chaser. Ain't never been the type to run away from a bar tab, but I've hitchhiked stillborns right out of fucking tip jars for those who break bread with Babylon in the name of art over everything. I don't expect you to understand us, but if anything, you're going to fucking respect us, our art, and how we love like loose leaf pages that only God can edit. I'm a titan's loose tooth underneath the toddler's pillow. Poem. Thank y'all.
Outlaw. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CPMaze.
Thank y'all for having me squeeze in. It's really weird, y'all. Like last night, I watched a lady bring her daughter to an open mic and read a poem in front of her daughter, right? And then you had a guy who drove probably 4 or 5 hours just to get a mic for about 4 minutes, share a poem, right? And I think, and I'm sitting there the whole while, and a guy who does a bipolar poem, like a black gentleman. And you know, in our culture and we don't talk about those type of things. Like, and the whole while I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I live in that tight line between the page world and the stage world. And it bothers me that ignorant argument keeps happening, because I watched people do something last night that were just so mind blowing that someone had to stop someone else who was talking during one of my poems because they were about to start a fight just to hear the words of a poem. Our craft means something, ladies and gentlemen. Our words mean something to somebody outside of ourselves and the people in this room and whoever you are out in the world on your computer screen or pad or phone. Like, poetry is alive and breathing, and it's not just because it's National Poetry Month. Poets are writing their ass off. Like, they have something to say, and I'm proud to be amongst you as my contemporaries. That's all I want to say. Thank y'all. Yeah.
Well, that's one way to short circuit everybody's compliments.
No, I don't take them too well. Skiff, you know that.
I'm you got to write a, well, no, I'm not going to suggest that. I was just going to say, you begin with this astounding image, and I'm thinking to myself, I want to see the fairy who's going to reach under that fucking pillow. But you brought up something.
An army to lift that tooth. Trust.
But you point something that always gets to me is this animosity that gets leveled at spoken poetry by the people I call the language police. And when are they gonna? I don't expect them to be approving, but when are they just going to give some space? When are they going to acknowledge? When are they going to drop their insecurity about their own territory and acknowledge this? I mean, for instance, I don't want to go on too long about this because we're all going to clonk out here from poetic overload, but everything I ever read in something like the New York Times about poetry, it's all about poetry that's on the page. They don't even have a consciousness of spoken poetry, and it's such a huge blind spot. But I'm with you. Spoken poetry is the future, and one of the programs of the language police was to make sure not everybody is a poet. But the fact is, everybody's a poet. Like everybody's an artist. Like everybody's a fucking bicycle rider. Wake up.
Wow.
Yeah. And can I just say one more thing on piggybacking on Paul? When times are like these, it brings out so much more depth of poetry, even if you're not writing specifically like I generally do, but just everything you write, you feel it tonight, has so much more passion because life has so much more passion right now, and it's so much more difficult. And it's, on everyone's mind. And I think it really ramps up your ability to get those thoughts out through your words.
Yeah, here. There's, somehow we still have this saving grace that people funk up this country gave us, free speech.
Well, for now.
Yeah, that's what I said so far. Yep. Yeah. So I'm not going to give it up. So you can,
exactly.
cut my tongue out. I'm still going to be speaking poetry out of my asshole.
Oh, let's go.
I'll come see you in the gulag, Paul. I'll probably be there with you, but
let's go.
I'm looking for the horse. Just point me to the horse, Paul. Point me to the horse, buddy.
Did I'm Kenneth say he's gonna fart in Morse code? Like that? That's always what it sounded like to me. Oh my gosh. Man, listen. I saw an amazing artist do an amazing thing last night. I saw this man ask for two emotions in the room and go on like a 5-minute freestyle. And while he was watching an outlaw ready to crash out, he was talking to this outlaw on stage, and he kept saying, "Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk." And trust me, it was bad business. But what I saw last night is just a reminder of how much poetry means to the people who do it. All right. I say a lot of times that there's really only one speed in this game, and that's go. We don't have time to mince our words. We don't have the luxury of a news cycle to wait until it comes back around. We have to get it out when we need to get it out, because the world needs to hear it. The world is being force-fed buckets full of crap, right? And
Yep.
we are that spoonful of truth, right? And every single Thursday that y'all come through, that spoon becomes a cup, right? And if we continue to do what we're doing, that cup is gonna become a bucket. Now, mind you, once our cup becomes a bucket, they're gonna have a dumpster worth of crap. But we still have work to do. And I can't thank all of you enough for being dedicated to doing the work. And that's what this is. Like, y'all are so amazing. To everyone who touched the mic this evening, everyone. To the Jedi Master, LadyK, Catman, Baba Ngoma, Bonnie Solloway, Lantern, Ray Whitaker, Alan Gary, Dre, Morima, thank you for coming, Mr. Tez, Xanadu, Yun in the building, Garland Thompson. Shout out my man Brian Lee, man. For real. For holding it down this evening, man. I appreciate you so much for doing all that you do. This is an amazing night, folks. Thank you for being fearless enough to do it. I'm gonna let y'all out of here. And I pray that we all find ourselves back here next week. Thank you for being such fucking phenomenal revolutionaries, each and every one of you. We're gonna end the night like this. Until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. Never forget, cowards get buried here, and we reclaim our strength through our fearlessness. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with y'all. Until next week, peace and blessings.